You know what I noticed? The things that steal our peace after 60 aren't the big disasters we worry about. They're these quiet habits we've carried for decades, thinking they make us good people. But honestly, some of them are just wearing us down. I'm talking about patterns we don't even question anymore. Things we do because we've always done them, or because we think we should. And I've watched friends my age, good people in their 60s and 70s, exhaust themselves over stuff that just doesn't matter as much as we think it does. Welcome to Senior Wellness Hub. I'm 58, and I've been thinking a lot about what actually brings peace in these years. Not the Instagram version of peace, the real kind. The kind where you sleep well and wake up without that knot in your chest. If you're here because you're tired of being tired, you're in the right place. And hey, if this resonates with you, subscribe so we can keep having these honest conversations. Here's what most advice gets wrong. It tells you what to add to your life. I was talking to my neighbor Dorothy last month. She's 71, sharp as ever, but she looked exhausted. She told me she barely sleeps because she's worried about her family. I asked her, "Dorothy, can you fix any of those things?" She got quiet. Then she said, "No, but I'm their mother." And right there, that's the trap we fall into. Listen, I'm not saying don't care. I'm saying there's a difference between caring and carrying. When you lie awake grinding your teeth over problems you can't solve, you're not helping anyone. You're just grinding yourself down. My dad used to say worry is like a rocking chair. Gives you something to do, but gets you nowhere. He was right, you know. After 60, we've earned the wisdom to know what's ours to handle and what isn't. Your kids are adults now. They're going to make choices you wouldn't make. They're going to struggle sometimes. That's not your failure. That's just life doing what life does. What's one worry you've been carrying that might not actually be yours to fix? Just something to think about. You know what's exhausting? Needing to win every conversation. I catch myself doing this sometimes. Someone says something about politics or health, and I feel this urge to correct them, to explain why they're wrong and I'm right. Like it's my job to fix everyone's thinking. But here's what I've learned. Being right doesn't keep you warm at night. It doesn't make people want to call you or visit you. Mostly, it just makes you lonely. I've got a friend, let's call him Tom, who's 73. Smart guy, reads everything. But his kids don't visit much anymore. You know why? Because every dinner turns into a debate. They're tired. There's this moment you can catch yourself in. Someone says something you disagree with, and you feel that itch to jump in. That's the moment. Right there. You can choose. Do I want to be right? Or do I want to be close to this person? Most of the time, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Whether they load the dishwasher your way or their way, none of it changes your life one bit. What changes your life is whether people feel safe and accepted around you. I'm not saying never have opinions. I'm saying pick your battles like you'd pick stocks, very, very carefully. Because your peace is valuable, and arguing spends it fast. This one's hard to hear, but stick with me. A lot of us spent 40 years putting our kids first. But somewhere along the way, we forgot to switch gears. They grew up, but we kept living like they need us to sacrifice. I know a woman, I'll call her Barbara, who's 68. She watches her grandkids 4 days a week. Not because she wants to, but because she thinks she should. She feels guilty saying no. Here's the truth. Your children don't need you to disappear into their lives anymore. They need you to model how to live well, how to have interests and friendships and joy. Because someday, they'll be 68, and they're going to remember how you live these years. You're not being selfish when you protect your time. You're being wise. Love doesn't mean erasing yourself. I started saying no to things that drain me, and you know what happened? My relationship with my daughter got better. Because when we do spend time together, I'm actually present. I'm not resentful or exhausted. There's this phrase I love. You can't pour from an empty cup. After 60, your cup doesn't refill as fast as it used to. You've got to protect what's in there. I'm going to say something that might sound cynical, but it's not. It's just honest. Not everyone who smiles at you wishes you well. When you get older, your circle naturally gets smaller. And in that smaller circle, it's tempting to cling to whoever's left. To share everything, your health, your money, your drama, because you need connection. But connection isn't the same as trust. I learned this the hard way. A few years back, I told a friend about some tension between me and my son. Suddenly, people were looking at me with pity. That hurt. Here's what I do now. I keep my business close. My health, my finances, my family issues. Does that make me closed off? I don't think so. I think it makes me protected. You don't owe anyone the details of your life. Lock your private life too. This is the one that surprises people because we're taught that helping others is always good. And it is, until it's not. I know this goes against everything we were raised to believe. Be helpful. Be generous. But there's a line, and after 60, you need to see it clearly. A guy I know, I'll call him Richard, is 71. He's the neighborhood handyman. He never says no. Last year, Richard had a minor stroke. He needed to rest. And you know how many of those neighbors checked on him? 2. Out of dozens who'd called him for help. That opened his eyes. He realized he'd confused being helpful with being used. Helping feels good when it's mutual, but when you're always giving and never receiving, that's not community. That's exploitation. You're allowed to say, "Not this time." You're allowed to say, "I can't." You don't even need a reason. I started practicing this last year. I asked myself, do I want to do this? Do I have the energy? Or am I saying yes out of guilt? If it's guilt, I say no. And you know what happened? The people who truly care about me understood. Your energy is precious now. Spend it on people and things that give back to you. I was scrolling through Facebook the other day, and I saw post after post of people my age traveling, celebrating. And for just a moment, I felt less than, like I wasn't doing it right. Then I remembered, social media is everyone's highlight reel. Nobody posts the hard days. Comparison is poison. It always has been, but after 60, it's deadly. You don't know what their life actually looks like when the camera's off. You've lived a unique life, made choices nobody else made, survived things nobody else survived. Your path is yours. Comparing a mountain to an ocean is pointless. They're both exactly what they're supposed to be. The moment you stop looking sideways at other people's lives is the moment you finally see your own clearly. Last one, and it's simple but profound. When's the last time you did something just because it made you happy? Not because it needed to be done, not because someone asked you to, but just because it brought you joy? I meet so many people in their 60s and 70s who've forgotten how to play. They've spent so long being responsible, raising kids, working jobs, that they don't remember what lights them up anymore. My Uncle Jerry is 76. He used to love woodworking. When he retired, he didn't pick it up again. I asked why not. He said, "What's the point at my age?" The point is joy. The point is feeling alive. I bought him some tools. 3 months later, he called me to see what he'd made. A jewelry box for his granddaughter. He said, "I'd forgotten this feeling." Happiness isn't something you earn. It's something you allow. And right now, today, you're allowed. So here's what we talked about today. 7 things to let go of if you want real peace. Stop carrying worries that aren't yours. Stop arguing just to be right. Stop living your life through your children. Stop sharing everything. Stop helping people who only take. Stop comparing your journey. And stop ignoring the things that make you genuinely happy. Awareness is the first step. Just noticing gives you the power to choose differently. Leave a comment and tell me which one resonated most. Hit that like button and subscribe for more honest conversations. Next week, I'm talking about reconnecting with old friends. Until then, take care of yourself. You're more valuable than you think, and your peace matters. I'll see you next time.